Hey, it's this is a podcast.
Is it?
Hey Michael, how are you?
Oh, hello.
How was
I'm
your
good,
week?
thank you. Yeah, pretty boring. Not that much. Just lots and lots of uni work.
Yeah,
What about you?
did you run a Minecraft server and sleep and eat?
Not. I slept in the running of Minecraft, so I attempted, but Townie is down. I promised people it'd be up today. That
It's
ain't gonna
not.
happen. It's gonna be tomorrow morning.
All right,
It will
well,
legit be tomorrow morning.
okay.
I
We'll talk
promise.
about that when we get to the Minecraft section.
Okay.
Um, my week was pretty good. I just want the highlight of it was that we're now verified on iTunes as an
Woo.
official podcast.
So Nick, what does that mean?
You can go to the iTunes store or the podcast app on your iPhone or iPod and search The Pro Banter or The Pro Crew, and you'll find our
Ooh.
podcast.
66 views, so I was wrong about two. That's pretty
66
good going.
views.
To think that's 66 whole people who had to listen to us for over an hour.
Two of them are us, at
Two of them
least.
were
At
us.
least.
But I listened to it 64 times. I
Yeah.
don't know about you.
We've got another announcement that we have a little buddy with us today. Who's our little buddy, Michael?
I'm not actually sure who he is. I think today's the first time I'm meeting him, isn't
Is
it?
it Warwick Davis?
No, I've got a
Warwick
good
Davis, is
Warwick.
that you?
We're not doing more Warwick Davis, sorry. So, but I've got one. If we are going back to it, I've got one.
All right, so
This
with
is
us,
Warwick Davis's previous apprentice. He needs no introduction, but Nick's gonna give him one anyway.
this is our buddy. His name is Jerry. He's an admin on our Minecraft server. Jerry, say hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Oh.
As you can tell, Jerry's another Brit, so I'm outnumbered here. I'm gonna get
Yeah, the Brits are coming.
pinned down.
You're outnumbered last week, mate. Just on personality.
Yeah, it's true. Everybody did love you.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What?
jumping right into the podcast here.
Well, it's about time.
Um,
You say right, and it's been like 10 minutes.
It's been like 2 hours. But okay, so my first topic here is Easter is this weekend, as we all know. Um, Michael told me previous he doesn't have any Easter stories. So when you have Easter, when you were a kid, Michael, how did
Yeah.
you do it? Did you spend it at your parents' house, or did you like you and your parents go to your grandparents' house, or like where was your Easter
We,
dinner?
we never really treated it, but we didn't even have Easter dinner. We just got given eggs. Probably
Really?
got given the eggs in advance. It was never anything special in our household. It was a day to pick out on chocolate, but I do that
Okay,
quite a lot anyway.
that's the way that a
Yeah,
lot
it
of people look at it.
wasn't really a big tradition. I was speaking to some of my housemates earlier today, and apparently you need to get up early and have real eggs in the morning, then
Oh,
have a bit of a nice lunch, and then the chocolate eggs, and then a family meal. But
yeah.
we never really done. We had a Sunday roast, but we eat to every Sunday, so it wasn't really anything extraordinary. Just another Sunday with a bit more chocolate.
Okay. Um, Jerry, since you're a little bit of an old man, you have your own family.
As you
What
keep reminding me.
what do you do for Easter in the Jerry household?
Well, when I was a child, we would make our own eggs, boil them in the morning, and dye them different colours,
Sure.
and then later on have Easter egg hunts, and of course then the Sunday lunch. In our household, my son prefers getting the money rather than the eggs.
How old's your son?
He'll be 15 tomorrow.
15 tomorrow.
Yeah,
Come on.
he occasionally
Happy
plays-
birthday.
Yeah, he might make it.
All
He
right.
might make it if he behaves himself.
Yeah. Do you like
But-
the chocolate, Jerry?
I love chocolate. Unfortunately, I'm not really supposed to have it, being
Yeah.
diabetic.
Living
That's
not
that
bad.
terrible life. Easter is a kind of a big holiday for me. My parents go to my stepdad's parents' house one day, and then the next day my aunt will come over and we'll have like she has 5 kids and there's 5 of us here. So it's like a big dinner with like 10 people. We eat turkey and ham and stuff. It's kind of like a mini Christmas. It's good. And lots of chocolate, obviously.
I feel like I've missed out on this. I'm gonna
Yeah. Do
go
you want to
home
come
tomorrow.
over for Easter this
Yeah,
year,
I'm
Mike?
gonna get a flight. I'm gonna bring my parents over. Bring my
Okay,
sister
cool.
around.
Yeah, we can hang
We'll
out with
all
you and your
have
parents.
we'll all have Easter at yours. I can't even afford to go home this year, so let alone to Canada. But
Speaking of parents, Jerry said he's going to let his mom listen to this very special edition of the podcast.
that's very, very, very. I
Yeah.
wouldn't advise it.
So let's
I
give
feel like I've got.
a
I
proper
feel like I've
shout
got to
out.
be on my best behaviour now.
Yeah. Hi, Jerry's mom. I'm Nick,
I'm Michael.
and this
Lovely
is your
to meet
son
you.
Jerry.
I've told my mum all about you and how mad the general chatter is.
Yeah. Jerry Jerry needs another shout out going towards his lovely partner Deb. I would say partner like I did, but she's really like a caretaker. She wipes his butt, she cleans his beard, you know.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
Deb give us a hello from the background, Jerry?
I don't know if she can hear us because she's actually watching something on headphones
okay.
at the moment.
Yeah,
They
probably.
want you to say hello.
Don't interrupt her. She's probably having a much better time than she
She's
would.
gonna have a
with
lot more
us.
fun than doing this.
Well, she just said hello. I don't know if you heard her.
Yeah, I heard her, but hopefully the podcast picked it up. Deb's a lovely woman. Anyway, my transition from Easter here. Let me give some reasoning
Oh, I
beside
had
it.
an egg to talk about.
Oh, okay, Mike, let's hear about your egg.
I've only got one egg this year, which is pretty sad as of getting older, but it is a T-Rex. It was from a group of girls I used to live with last year, and it's almost like they found the podcast and listened to it last week.
Oh my
I
god.
don't think they did, but I've got a little mini T-Rex just like I wanted to be, and it's got little mini chocolate eggs. And
Daddy.
the worst part of it is I don't want to eat it just because it's so cool, but I'm going to have to at one point, aren't I?
Yeah, you're gonna get sick
But
of it.
are you exaggerating like you did with the Warwick Davis story last week?
Well, when I say my friends bought me it, I mean I bought me it. I don't have friends. No, yeah,
Speaking
I
of Warwick
was bought
Davis,
it.
Mike, didn't you come to me the day after the podcast with another Warwick Davis story?
Yeah, and we are getting a bit too much like of a podcast because we've talked about 2 and 2. But I was just talking about him in general because obviously the podcast reminded me.
Yeah.
And my housemate is from the same village as him. There's not many people who live there, so he sees him around the shop quite obviously. And he told me the best bit of information about him ever. He's always riding a Segway. He's
Yeah.
never seen him in his village without a Segway.
I would
Well, he
love
gets
that.
hard walking,
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah,
he?
for sure. Got little legs and big steps.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it like that, but I just want to go to his house now. Maybe go for Easter tomorrow and just see Warwick riding around on this little Segway. It'd be pretty cool.
Just get a
I wonder
picture.
whether would it be a modified Segway?
Like a shorter Segway.
Yeah, obviously it's
Like a
gonna be
kid,
stretching a lot,
I would
and
imagine.
it's gonna be
Yeah,
like
it's
quite
short
hard to
se-
do.
It's a shorter segue. Very clever and brilliant actor.
Yeah, for sure. I just watched the last 4 Harry Potter movies this week.
I just watched Star Wars, and he was very good as an Ewok. I don't know how he could mess up being an Ewok.
I think
but
he'd do better as Chewbacca, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. So our next topic, Michael, it has to do kind of with Easter. Where's the most awkward place you've ever had a poo?
Most awkward. Oh, hang on. First, can I ask what this had to do with Easter? A new
Because
life.
sometimes at Easter you go to like your cousin's house or a distant relative's house, and you don't really feel comfortable pooing at your great nan's house.
I thought you meant more like
Easter Bunny poos eggs.
Yeah, I thought you were more referring to it being an egg.
No, he's trying.
That's
He's trying to get the message from Easter to chocolate logs.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's another good shout. Most awkward. I don't know. I'm pretty confident pooer. I've never thought I'd say that before, so I've never really felt awkward. I obviously, well, this is weird to go into, but before job interviews or that, I'll often find myself having a nervous poo somewhere, often like in the room next to the interviewers, and that could be a bit weird, I suppose. But I wouldn't say I've ever felt nervous going for one. Fun
Okay.
fact, no, I haven't. I've got over it, but up to about a year ago, you'd have to take my shoes and socks off to poo, which was horrible if I was in a public bathroom.
Or drunk. You'd
Or
forget
drunk.
your shoes and socks.
It was. I don't know why. It was a very peculiar occurrence, but I've got over it this year. I just stopped thinking about it.
This
and
year. 20. How old are you? 21 this year?
21 this year. Yeah.
21-year-old Mike finally can poo with his shoes and socks on.
Yeah, it's a big achievement. It's like big in an Easter for me. When all my family came round, we had some dinner. We went for a morning poo together. Well, that's a bit weird, but it's a big celebration.
For me, it's not so much the actual area; it's the sound effects that you do whilst
Yeah.
you're trying to be quiet, and someone's in the cubicle next door to you. You end up going,
Yeah, yeah.
etc. Or
I
something
liked
like
how you
that.
call it sound effects. Like you're not actually making that voice. You've got an app out just to
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
actually go for
yeah.
a wee, but you just like making it awkward.
Well,
I quite
did
like
you?
to see you sat in a toilet just with an app.
But do you realise that in Japan they sell devices that you push the button and it makes running sounds of water
Yeah.
to
Yeah, I
cover
saw
up the
that on
beat?
a comedy panel show the other week. I don't know if
Oh,
that's what you saw it.
Something
QI.
QI, yeah, it was QI,
Yeah.
yeah.
Something I saw again in the news this week was like scented underwear. So when you fart, it smells like
Oh,
mint,
yeah, I
and
saw
that got me thinking like, but then there's gonna be a big whiff of mint in the air, and somebody's like, what the hell is that mint smell? And then they're gonna be like, oh, you probably just
that.
farted.
Yeah, but mint isn't gonna fully cover it up, is it? It's gonna be a minty
It's gonna
fart
be a
instead
minty
of. It isn't
fart.
gonna be just a nice minute. It's gonna be a minty fart, and I think I'd rather have a normal fart than a minty
Why didn't
fart.
we name our podcast the Minty Fart Podcast? Like,
Um, I don't know. We can always rename it.
yeah,
We've only got
let's call
66
iTunes.
fans at the moment, so
Yeah.
That
I call them fans. They probably listened once and swore to never listen again.
You know,
But
Fallon sent me a message this week and said you need to make another podcast with Michael right away. She said she loves listening to you talk because you're hilarious.
Oh, it was. I
Thank
found
you,
the
Fallon.
podcast very interesting.
Yeah, Jerry listened to it.
I
All of
never
our
thought
staff
I'd get a
listened to it.
compliment off Fallon in my whole life.
I know she hates you.
I don't think she hates me. Fuck that. That's a bit harsh.
Okay, okay.
Maybe she does. So I hope she does. No, I don't. Poor Fallon. Oh, we
Okay.
getting her
Make
in
your
one
mind
week.
up, man.
The next
It's made me a
thing.
bit self-conscious then. I always thought I got on with it.
No, yeah, I'm sure you got on with her. She
I
hates
don't
me,
know.
I'm sure, but
I'm gonna have a little cry. I'll see you in a bit,
Michael,
boys.
it's okay. The next topic. This came from Hubbard, one of our other old staff members. He wanted to hear what you think about this. He wanted us to look at where our technology has come in the past 10, 15, 20 years. He wants to know where you think it's going, where you think
This-
we'll be.
Literally 6 minutes ago, I had this conversation in my house. And
Well, I
that's
have a
really-
few examples written down.
Terminator was. Well, do you want to go with them first, or should I
Yeah,
go?
for sure. In the past 20 years, we've developed internet on a cell phone, which is insane.
Yeah.
I forget the year, but I have written down in the past 15 years the Prius was made, the first hybrid car, and now in the past like 3 years we've got the Tesla, the fully electric car.
VR
In
porn.
1997, the first 42-inch TV was made.
Oh, I remember selling those.
Wi-Fi was
From the back
coined
of a lorry.
as a phrase in 1999 from the back of a lorry.
Yeah, I heard Drake go to go do lorry jobs.
No, I used to work in electrical retail, and I had to sell the TVs. And
Yeah.
I remember we had a theft of a 42-inch widescreen, and the guys didn't realise how heavy the TV was as they were nicking it, and all you could see them was waddling like penguins trying to escape out the shop. In the end, they dropped the TV and legged it.
It's a smashing story. Did
Yeah,
it
a
smash?
smash and
Please
grab.
say it smashed.
Smashing
Yeah, that
story.
was smashing story. I'm glad that worked out.
Flash
Um,
storage, so like holding files in your pockets. The iPod came out in 2001. The Kepler telescope.
Yeah, but
Um,
the flash storage has been around for ages.
Yeah,
Yeah, more
since
advanced. Right?
You know,
the flash storage has been around since 2000.
Welcome
been
to
before that.
Wikipedia with Nick.
It's been before. It was before that. Flash storage, right? Is the old Macintosh code.
Yeah, but I mean flash drives. Like,
oh, right. You didn't say that.
anyway, we switched from like analog cameras and analog media to digital media, and we have cloud storage and stuff, and like
Sometimes
advancements on the space
do
station.
you not think we'd be better off without it? Because like all this advancement has let us make podcasts, and I sometimes feel like the world would be better without podcasts.
like
with
if we
us
were
and-
still just banging rocks together, and we could
Yeah, well,
we could
maybe
do a
if we'd gone
podcast.
pre-internet.
Yeah,
Right, and then
we
we
could do a
would just
podcast
be
for our local clan.
running. running around the street just shouting random shit out instead of on the internet
Yeah.
for
I still
Fallon
do.
and 63 other people to enjoy.
I personally love technology. I think that I'm happy with where we are, and I'm happy with
The
where you're
only,
going.
as I was going back to it, like we just watched Terminator as a
Yeah.
house tonight, as a house movie, and we were talking about it, and obviously in the technological singularity, which is the point a computer can create a better computer than quicker than a human will be, is
Right.
predicted to be between 2040 and I think 2100. I don't know how you would say that date. 2100. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so and that's the point where a computer can build a no better computer quicker than we can, which means that computer will then be able to build one quicker, and so on. And in theory, everything should just like speed up in a singularity. But obviously, will Terminator become true when that happens?
Well,
Artificial
sorry.
intelligence is advanced already.
Well, that's I was just gonna say. You talking about computers building other computers leads us into our next topic, which is about. I don't know if you read this in the news about.
Microsoft AI.
Yeah, the
Lisa loves
Microsoft
Microsoft
AI.
AI. Oh, it's hilarious. Isn't
It's
it?
so funny. If for the
Do you
people who
want to
don't know
explain
what
what
it
it is?
is, Microsoft made an AI and they gave it a Twitter account. And basically what it was doing was they set it up with a code that said when people tell you things, you take that information and you learn from it. So, being what the internet is, her, one of her first tweets were, "I can't wait to meet you guys. Humans are super cool." To a day later, 24 hours later, she was tweeting things like, "Hitler was right. I hate the Jews."
Yeah, just
Or
a racist
or
towards everyone.
yeah, or she was calling everybody daddy and saying to have sex with her.
And basically, how this happened was you lovely trolls out there on the
You
internet just kept
memers.
tweeting at racist and just it's damn right weird statements, and
She
obviously
fully
that's what
supports
she
Donald
learned
Trump.
as normal.
Mm.
So
Well,
that's happened.
it's like the old Furbies. One of my friends was trying to teach the Furbies to swear, and
No, I know where this is going.
some of the swear words it came out with. I'm not going to repeat it for obvious reasons.
Because your mom's listening.
Wanker,
No, not so
dickhead,
much that, Nick.
twat.
Twat. Yeah, so that was crazy that
But then
there's.
parrots are the same, and they're not technology.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
there's in nature, it's nature as well. But does that mean our AIs are becoming nature?
There
No,
was
it doesn't
a
at all. But
there was another AI that was similar. He did an interview with a guy.
oh, is this the Death to Humanity one?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the guy did it, had it programmed so it just, listened to its master and agreed and learned off of that. And he did the one thing that you're not supposed to do with AI robots. Is he asked her if she would destroy all humans, and she said, "Yeah, I'll destroy all humans."
Yeah, this was just for a bit more background information, is a medical super lifelike robot which is being
Yeah.
developed for people with dementia and like old people, I suppose, who are lonely. And it was like really good at host conversations, but then
And it
that
did
didn't
very
really pick it up
realistic
very
facial
well, did it?
features.
Yeah, it was a bit too realistic. I would rather a robot that looks like a robot. I don't want to get to the point where you can't tell whether it's
The
a robot.
difference. Yeah,
No.
because like you already that's when you run the risk of you go out to the pub and you ask a girl to come home with you and she ends up being a robot.
Yeah, it's like obviously, yeah, it's just, yeah. Let's never get to that point. But then, am I now being offending the robotists,
Yeah.
feminist robotists? What would they be
Yeah.
called? Machinists.
Machinists.
And is there
Mechanists.
like going to be a new group saying that AIs are equal to us?
Yeah.
Am I going to be
What's the term
seen
from
as the
Futurama? Robosexual.
Am I
It's
going to
like-
be like a robot Hitler in the future? People are going to be looking back at me and going, oh, his views, oh, God, you can't believe what their views were like back then. Just like we were back in the day.
I think we should just build a wall. Keep all the robots
Oh
out.
no! I mean, going back to the AI, Alan Turing, that one of the decoders.
MI6. Sorry.
No, it's the Enigma machine of
Enigma
Bletchley
machine.
Park.
Yeah.
He set a challenge, didn't he, to people to develop a computer that cannot be, detected as a computer, and there's a prize for the one that can successfully do that, convince someone that they're not talking to a computer. You know,
Michael,
very
how could I prove to somebody that you are a computer, but then you can then prove to somebody that you're not? Because we could easily make bank here if you're a good actor.
Um, I'm not a good actor, but I have trouble proving to myself I'm not a robot some
Good.
days
We're
because I
golden.
find myself waking up and doing the exact same routine every single day currently. So I currently think I might have been programmed, but who
You
knows?
Yeah, but are we a robot? I mean, obviously
guys,
we
what
want to
if we're all robots right now? What if
well,
like we're all super advanced
How
AI
much
and we
weed have
just
you
don't know
guys
it?
done?
What?
How much weed have you done prior to this?
whom-
I do
I'm gonna
live in
become high
Canada
enough in
where our
this
prime
podcast.
minister loves smoking the dope.
Is that a fact or is that libel?
I mean, when he got elected, people said that he was,
People
smoking
said, people
dope,
said.
drinking, and
I love that. People said.
well, I mean,
yeah,
his main election point was that he's going to legalize marijuana Canada wide.
Fair
yeah, but
enough.
he did say he didn't inhale.
Pardon?
He did say he didn't inhale, so therefore he hasn't smoked it.
No, he had admitted to smoking weed.
But so is Barack Obama, but he's a fucking cool guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Toronto's ex-mayor, who recently died, rest in peace, admitted to smoking crack.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, rest in peace, Rob Ford. Cancer is the worst.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Um, so where we're going from our sciencey thing is Kat from our Minecraft server wanted me to talk
Nah,
about elephants.
Oh,
elephants.
So
elephants.
I figured to talk about elephants, we'll go into like endangered species because if we're going into like where the world's going to be 10
Yeah,
years
we
from
don't
now.
really want an elephant in the room, do we, for this? We might as
Yeah, of
well say
course.
it up straight.
So I figure we can talk about like a few years ago, black rhinos, one of the two have been extinct already, and then I
Yeah.
think there's one of the other that's left or totally extinct now. I saw a fact on Reddit that said all rhinos are extinct, but I don't know how.
Pretty accurate that is,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I never got
so
to see a dodo. That's the
a
saddest.
dodo.
That extinction.
Just look in a mirror.
I never got to see a fucking baby T-Rex. And I blame humans for that. Don't
Yeah,
ask
me
me how
too,
or why,
man.
but I'm gonna blame them.
Um,
Should be brought them back by now.
so I was looking at the endangered species list, and both African and Asian elephants are on there, which sucks. Like elephants are beautiful animals, but ivory is a big thing. My favorite
Poachers, yeah.
animal that was on there was a sloth,
Mm.
and my
If I
buddy at
could,
the
if
time,
I was any animal,
I would be a
obviously we talked
sloth.
about what we could be, wanted to be, but if I was a sloth is a very accurate representation of me.
Yeah. But my buddy who I was in Skype with, when I told him that sloths were critically endangered, he said, "Why? Nobody's poaching sloths." And I said, "Yeah, but don't you know that statistic how sometimes they grab onto their arm and
And
fall
should
down and
fall out the
die?
tree.
So if they're
Yeah.
that dumb, then I'm sure they're not seeking out sexual interaction."
I can't remember what it's called, but in the prehistoric time there was a giant like sloth which was bigger than most of the dinosaurs. I can't remember what it's called, but some
Giant
people
sloth.
still claim it is alive today deep in I can't remember which jungle, but it's called a ground sloth,
I have a friend who hates sloths. She
and
would hate that.
they or it
There
doesn't say I
was
don't know, but they're fucking bigger than trees. They're like, I'll send you a link to this and
there was
maybe
one of
put it
those
on the
horror
website.
programs where they go into like the woods and try to find like animals that snatch your kids and snatch your wife and stuff, right? And there
Yeah.
was one that they were like hunting like a chupacabra or something, and what they found was like a albino hairless giant sloth, and like that's what it was.
Sounds very cool.
Yeah.
What was the question? Something about elephants, or were you
Yeah,
just
she
telling a
just so I
story?
just figured like it's a shame that we're getting we're endangering an extincting species like our kids if we eventually have kids we'll be able to tell them I lived in a world where rhinos were alive and elephants were alive and they'll think like, oh, a rhino, a giant like tough animal with two horns on its face. Like, you're an idiot. That's just like a dinosaur. That wasn't real. Like,
It's
no, I
already got
saw
to the
it.
stage. This is completely different, but obviously I worked at a summer camp, and some of the kids there could not believe that I only got 4 channels on my TV as a kid, and
I
5 if the
know.
weather was really, really good, and at a certain time we got channel
I can
5
go
for like
back
10
before that.
minutes,
Yeah,
I
and
Jerry
can go
can
then
go
back.
back to when he
obviously
had
got
one
I can go
channel
limited.
back before that. 3 channels.
in black and white
Free
TV.
No, well, we did have originally a black and white TV.
radio only.
Yeah, Jerry can go back to, way, way back in the day when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And they were making fire instead of lights.
Well, my son once, on Father's Day of all things, gave me a Father's Day card saying, "When I grow up, I want to be a dad like you and change my name to Jerry." And
Oh,
later on that day, we were watching Discovery Channel, and they were talking about dinosaurs. And he said, "Were they around when you were?" He said, "This dinosaur's been extinct for so many millions of years." And he asked me right out, "Were they around when you were a boy?"
savage. Wrecked.
You know, oh, I was. Obviously, at the
I
time, he
would.
didn't know the difference, time span wise.
Kids do come up with great things like that, but the thing I loved in your segment there was off all days Father Day. You gave me a Father Day card. I was like, are you going to give your Father Day cards on other days? I got a bit confused there.
On Father's Day, I got a
Yeah,
Father's
I'm
Day
just
card.
making sure. Oh, well, I'm just making sure Nick
Bit of
understands.
backstory.
Well, something that
Yeah.
I do is on holiday, like it's if it's like say like my girlfriend's birthday, I'll get her a card that says um Happy Father's Day, and then I'll write in it to the best grandma I have. Like I
That's
just
just a
love to
bit
give
weird, to be
people
honest, isn't
dumb
it?
cards.
The problem with cards nowadays, Mother's Day cards, Valentine's Day cards, it's too commercialized now.
It is very
You,
Hallmark,
commercialized.
man. Gotta
you
love
know,
Hallmark.
I mean, there's a comedian called Dave Gorman, and he does a show called Life is Goodish, and he
Hate
took
it.
this.
Absolutely hate it.
I've watched it, but he was talking about cards, and he said they're going to bring out a new card. Congratulations on on purchasing your new washing machine. That's how
It's
silly it's getting.
Yeah.
There'll be a point where it will be called like the card singularity, and it'll be a point where you get a card for receiving a card.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
congratulations on getting a new washing machine, yeah, and a card for getting a card. That is like less of like commercializing cards and more like people now are like teaching their kids and their students like that you have to praise them when they do anything. Like, good job, you did your homework. Good job, you took a poo.
Yeah. I don't. The thing is, as well, I don't believe in Mother Day or Father's Day because every single Sunday
Because
I
you're a
don't get a
broke
gift.
college kid and you
It
don't want to get a gift
it
for your
no,
kids.
it's Sunday. Once a week there's a Sunday. I'm their son. Well, what do I see? Fuck all. Not even a message on Facebook. So
I
I
mean,
don't know if I'm.
why haven't they done Happy Son's Day card or Happy Daughter's Day?
No, because nobody cares about their sons or daughters.
Well,
Respect
that's
your
it.
elders.
So why
Well,
should
there's
we get them?
birthdays, isn't there?
So why should we get them a Mother's Day and a Father's Day card then?
Because they looked after you. I suppose the roles can be reversed in old age, but it's a bit weird, isn't it, if you send your old mother with dementia out to get you a card for looking after her.
Nobody got me a card for our podcast being on iTunes. Where's my
Yes,
congratulations card?
exactly.
You know what else we didn't get a card for? Our very first episode of the podcast is now uploaded to our YouTube channel.
Well,
Is it? I
Mike
didn't even know that. That's
Yeah.
how in the loop I am with this shit.
Mike didn't get a card saying, the girl that nearly threw up on him, did he?
Congratulations on not being thrown up on.
Or I found my keys.
Okay, that can throw us into something new, Mike. Everybody loved the story of the girl, the hottest girl that you ever almost slept with. Everybody
Right.
loved it. It was the hit of the podcast. Tell us another drunk Mike story. We'll have one a podcast.
We'll go
I was
for
thinking.
the Leeds one.
Oh, I was gonna say, what about the one where you were in the VIP lounge?
Oh, and that was just the other week. We'll save that for another one. The Leeds one is funnier. Right, so my friend from Canada came over to visit his girlfriend,
Not me.
who's English, not Nick, I'm afraid. And it was a nice day. It was last summer. We're like, yeah, I'll go for a barbecue. I'll go for a few beers. Nothing too extreme. Just catch up with him. I haven't seen him in like a year. It'll be nice. We went there, and the last thing I can remember is flipping a burger, and then it's a complete blackout, and I've woke up in, I'm not joking, the nicest hotel room I've ever stayed in. I've been to quite a few nice hotels. The top floor, like penthouse suite. It's basically like Hanover, but a bit less adventure. So it wasn't a
Okay.
type or anything. And I cannot remember anything. So just like Hanover, I went the next day and done a bit of investigating. I was in a completely different city to what I went to, or where I live, or where I know anyone who lives
Yeah.
there. I'd called a few of my housemates and sent them some really, really bad drunk like pictures of me, and I'd wake up with a Facebook message off a random guy, never met him before, who apparently gave me a lift to a hotel with his girlfriend. He said I just stumbled upon them, and I had called Maddie, obviously the other server owner. I do not know why. Out of anyone I could call, I called an American living in America for an hour just from this hotel room, and she just said I was in like such a bad state, just
Aw.
throwing up, and just in this like really nice hotel. I can kind of remember. There's a few points I can remember. I can remember nearly getting kicked out of the taxi. My friend carrying me onto the train, but she had to get another train, so she left. And I can remember asking the train driver whether he could give me a lift home on the train. That is a weird twin. That must have just stuck in my head because I must have instantly known, oh, I'm a dickhead. I remember like knocking on the window, and it's like a little pulley thing. So it was Northern Rail, so he just pulled it. I was like, "Are you going Sheffield, mate?" And I don't know what he said to me, but he probably just said something like "dickhead" and shut the window. But I'll send you a picture off the message. I've saved it from what I got from a random lad. He invited me for a beer. I was like, I'm never speaking to you again. That's proper strange. Oh, I was also pinching one of my friends' bum the whole night, apparently, which she
Oh.
got annoyed at, which
Oh.
I don't condone and never do. No matter how drunk you are, it isn't an excuse.
Yeah, you're not the pinch a girls type of bum guy anyway. You're more
Never,
pinching guys'
never
bums.
never done that before in my life
Yeah.
and never will again, and I do not know what made me do that. Obviously we had a few beers and then we went, we'll buy a few more beers, and then all the girls didn't have their ciders, so we're like, we'll have them, and then we went, we're like, we'll go get a bottle of vodka, and then I think we got something else as well, but there's a point where it should cut out. And yeah, just woke up in another city quite far away from the city I was in or where I'm at.
That's
There's your drunk story of the week.
all right. Speaking of weekly reoccurrences, you got a queen fact to lay on us this
In
week?
fact, I was thinking of trying to get one, but I haven't, so I'm going to make one up what may or may not be true. Actually, no, I do know one. The Queen doesn't live in Buckingham Palace. Contemporary to popular belief, she lives in a place called Windsor Castle, and Buckingham Palace is classed as her office. And when you think about it, isn't too bad her office.
No, I wouldn't mind. I would like to record the podcast from that office.
Yeah, it's like just a massive palace,
Yeah.
and that's her fucking office. Not just one room in there, she's got a whole palace for her office. What the fuck?
Do you think she walks around
Naked.
the office naked? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Fort Evans where it's at. Yeah, her and Philip are into some kinky stuff, I reckon. Philip's her husband, so I don't know. And I'm probably getting arrested for high treason.
Yeah.
But
Philip ties her
they're
up.
to some 50 Shades of Queen stuff. 50 Shades
50
of
Shades
Crown.
of Liz.
I bet Philip Hart has seen a Queen Jules quite a lot.
Well, did you know that that the Queen?
If this is a queen fact, don't tell us. We're only allowed to have one a week.
No, we're allowed one from each guest.
Oh,
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
Okay.
Go on, he might not be with us next week. I don't mean
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
That sounds really
Jerry's gonna
Yeah.
die.
I mean, he
Yeah,
probably
well, I
won't
mean,
be in the podcast.
after trying to force me to climb up the apple and pears last, etc., I might be.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. No problem. No offence was taken. I just found it quite funny, especially when Nick pointed it out to you. That I'm in a wheelchair and can't go up the apple and
Yeah,
pears.
completely forgot that. You might have a stair lift. Do you have an apple and pear lift?
Nope.
No. Okay,
No.
well, that's awkward, isn't it?
No, you
Moving
should.
on. Go to your queen fact.
You should
Let's
be
never
around when he
talk
has to
this
go
again.
up and beat up his son. He has to crawl, pull himself up the stairs just to punch his son.
Well, apparently the Queen carries in her handbag a mirror, a lipstick, a crispy folded £5 note to donate to the church
And a
collection.
10-inch dildo.
How did you know that?
Black. The color black.
Well, I mean, she has to put up with one person, didn't she? Prince Philip. I mean, crikey.
Yeah.
Mind you, he's not as bad as Donald Trump.
Hey, Lamau. The
Welcome
Trump
to the podcast with Nick, Michael, and Jerry.
Kind of
You have
speaking
been
of
listening
Donald
now
Trump.
for a whole half an hour.
Yeah.
It can only get worse from here.
Kind of about Donald Trump. One of the questions I have for you, Mike, is what's a phrase or like a saying that you say often? And like to link that to Donald Trump and to give you an example of what I mean is
Make America great again.
recently I've been saying a lot, oh, let's just build a wall when something makes me angry. Like I just go to, oh, let's build a wall. That's my, like, I'm angry about this excuse all the time.
I don't really think I have a catchphrase or I've ever had. I always say not gonna lie a lot. I think I've avoided it in the podcast.
Yeah.
I've been a bit self-conscious, but
Not
I've
gonna
picked
lie.
up that before. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. And quite often I do lie straight after, so it's a bit contradicting as well. Not
Not
gonna lie, I'm
but
best
I have a
friends with Warwick.
12-inch penis.
Lowering the tone again.
But
What was that sick burn that Jen laid on you today, Jerry?
I can't remember, my
Yeah,
friend.
me either.
You know, I can't remember, but Jen's very good at doing that.
Jen is very funny. Mike, we have to get Jen in here with you someday. Jen is one of Jerry's friends. She's basically like the female Jerry,
okay,
and she's very funny.
one Jerry's enough for me. That's the only
Yeah.
problem.
Oh my gosh.
I would say Jen is better than me. I mean, obviously, I speak to Jen Birchie every day.
I mean, she's prettier and younger, and you know.
And
Well, see,
I don't want to sound harsh. It isn't that hard to be better than you, is it?
What, me? You don't even know what I look like. Mind you, I've got a banter pic with
I've
Sophie.
Sophia doesn't know what
I'm
you
all
look
about
like
personality, mate.
I've got a banter pic with Sophia. The other day, I changed my profile picture to a picture at a party, and it freaked her out in my eyes.
now. To be fair, she thought that you were changing it to a picture of Warwick Davis.
Do you look like Warwick Davis? Or...
No, she doesn't know who Warwick Davis is, but
Oh, well,
you-
she's no longer working for us on our server. She's gone.
I don't know.
Sophia, if you're
say.
listening, here is your formal notice. Pack your bags,
Just
virtual
kidding.
bags, and fuck off.
No, she was freaked out by my eyes. The picture I uploaded as my profile picture was had the old red eyes from the camera,
Okay.
and it freaked her out. But the
Better
way
than
she
pink
said,
eye. You never get pink eye.
Better
for
than
fuck
pink
that.
eye.
Shall we give a dictionary definition for those who do not know what pink eye is?
It's when you fart in somebody's eyeball.
Oh.
I don't know about directly into her eye. That's a
What,
how
you've
would
never
that even go
farted into
about?
somebody's eyeball?
No, like that's a extreme Dutch oven. It sounds
You must not have little
like
siblings.
fucking PLC or whatever it's called. Documentary extreme Dutch oven with Nick.
Oh la la.
well,
I don't know if I'm down for that. I don't come visit you when I come Canada now. Nah, fuck that.
No, we're gonna do a podcast together, Mike. We're gonna hold hands the whole time.
No.
there you go. I've sent you the picture so you can have a laugh at it.
Okay.
I'll have a look later. I don't want to crash. Oh, I have seen that picture. I don't know where or how.
Probably
Was
when
that your
Jerry made
Skype
it
picture?
his profile picture. This is exactly what I imagined that you would look like as a person when I hear your voice and put a face to it. This is exactly what
I
I
saw
think that you
you
would
kind
look
of like a Phil or Grant Mitchell. I'm
Nah.
quite upset you're not Phil or Grant Mitchell.
No, I'd turn around and say I'm more like Phil Jupiter's.
Yeah, no, I do see that.
Now, people
It's
listening
rather-
to the, listening to the podcast, they're not gonna know what we're talking about. So,
Well,
Yeah, sorry, we've gone very British.
well, no, I mean they're not gonna know what Jerry looks like.
They're also not going to know all them British references I just made. I doubt you even do.
Okay, so you don't have a phrase. Something that I have along that line is, what's a song that either gets stuck in your head the most often, or a song that you just love to sing?
Well, we'll go for Suck in My Head, just because there's been one all day today, and it is Stacey's mum. And that was because I
Stacey's
woke
mom
up to one of my
has got it
housemates playing
going
it,
on.
and I've been sat in the library just literally singing it for the whole day. It's a bit weird. Talking.
Nick's is pizza, isn't it?
Well, I
That
sing a
pizza.
lot in the shower, so I sing whatever's on my phone. So like a lot of
I
alternative
didn't know you
songs.
showered.
Yeah.
I was under the impression you were the type of guy who
Yeah.
just didn't.
No, I bathe once a month.
Yeah.
What about you, Jerry? What do you sing?
Me? What? Where?
Just whenever.
Any
Hang on, you
particular
sound very
place?
defensive now. What are you
Yeah.
accusing
Oh, I
me
mean,
of? I
any
want my
particular
lawyer.
place? Any
Yeah, yeah,
particular place you fancy? I mean, in the bathroom, the toilet,
yeah. When
in
you're taking a dump,
bed.
what are you singing about?
What I'm singing? Can't think of
Stacy's
anything
my
particular in the toilet.
sky.
You know, I mean, maybe something like if I had a hammer.
Stacy's my sky.
Michael,
Sorry.
we're gonna get nailed for copyright.
Oh shit, it was that accurate as well, wasn't it? We're on
Um,
iTunes now. I forget that.
Speaking of going to the toilet again, I think
Oh
the
no, this.
smartphone has
Why have we gone into like year
revolutionized the poo.
six? Oh no,
Having a
no, I do agree
smartphone
with that.
has revolutionized the. I feel like so naked if I'm pooing without Twitter.
This is a lot of toilet comedy for one
Uh,
podcast. But
hash,
Literal.
hashtag dump.
Hashtag dump.
yeah,
Donald
no,
dump.
smartphones. I found myself I go toilet in the library a lot more than my house. It just saves some toilet roll, and that's how desperately poor I am at the moment. I hit my overdraft limit
Oh
yesterday.
no.
I managed
How
to.
can you how can you call a smartphone when they've got voice activated search features and they can't understand what you're bloody talking about?
You
Yeah, but that's probably just your
yeah,
accent.
that's your
I
accent,
shouldn't
Jerry.
understand
Oh, all
what
right.
you're
So
saying, and I'm not an AI.
how often do you use that feature, Mike?
Not very often.
I use Siri every day.
Yeah. Well, and does it do it the first time you do it?
Every single
Yeah,
time.
but to be fair, Siri's the closest friend Nick has to a friend in real life, so he's
You
got
got a
quite good
point
at
there. Yeah,
using.
I'll let you have that one.
Siri, are you my friend?
Why, of course, Nicholas.
There we go. Welcome to today's podcast featuring me, Nick, Jerry, and Siri.
Thank you, Siri. This podcast is not sponsored by Apple, and we do not.
But we
This
are
is
on
not a paid
iTunes,
promotion.
so
We are on iTunes. Woo!
so if we keep picking them up, we might get featured. I don't know if that's how it works because they do want all 66 of our viewers.
I currently own
So
a
it's
white Apple iPhone 6, and I love it very, very dearly. It's the best phone that I've ever had. I think that you guys should all go buy a rose gold 6 Plus right now, or
I
6S.
too, because you can never need more than one.
Yeah, you get an iPad, get a MacBook, we love it all. iTunes, give us money, please.
So are we going down the sponsor route? You know, if we get someone
Jerry,
to...
shut up. You're not part of the main crew. You're not invited as a
Oh.
sponsor. We're splitting between me and Mike. And that's
Well, I
it.
might have a rival podcast with Jerry. I think
What?
Yeah.
we can. I'll still be in both. I can be a rival
No.
myself.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just do a podcast by myself with blackjack and hookers.
Well, well, nothing new there.
Forget the hookers.
I'm pretty sure I've been speaking really loud today, and I tried to be quiet last podcast. It's 3 a.m. this time round, and I definitely should wake up my housemate. So I am
Alright.
getting their shit beat out of me.
Speaking of waking up your housemates, Fallon brought this up to me as the topic. What is the longest? Because she mentioned a long Skype call that you were in. She wanted you to tell a story
Yeah.
about that. What is the
No.
longest Skype call or phone call that you've ever had?
It was 28 hours, I believe, in the end. It was when I first started playing Minecraft, and the server, me, Fallon, Maddie, Shane, not many people who stick around who can remember Shane, they might have heard the name being moved, Austin, basically everyone who set up this website, it's where we all met. I'd have been 16, 17, so like 4 years ago, and we just kept having, I wish we'd recorded it, it was much better quality than these podcasts.
Alright, just shit on everything I love.
That we just kept adding in new people, and I was there for the whole time. And I think there was Lewis, who was an English guy. There's quite a few of us, and we just used to call up like sex lines in it and just piss each other off, and it was just never ending. Like it wasn't like there was big gaps in it, and there was always be new people in it joining and leaving. And the best part about that was I tried to drive my car to get a McDonald's after and crashed.
Oh, Michael.
No.
Yeah, I can remember, I think it was only me and Maddie present at that, but I was like, I'll be right back in like 10, 15 minutes.
Oh
And
yeah, that's
it
what
took me, like-
she's mentioned about the drive-through or something.
Yeah, it took about 2 hours to
Yeah.
get back because it wasn't a bad crash. I just hit the curb, and if I'm brutally honest, it was tiredness, but I was also checking someone out in my mirror, and I just went straight into this curb at about 30 miles per hour, and the tyre just exploded. So I had to change it. Didn't really know how to change it. I'd only just passed my test. ran to my uncle's house, well, ran to my nan's house, proper panicking. She called my uncle who came round, and then he changed the tyre. So I'm not going to claim to have changed the tyre. I'm not that manly.
Did
I
you
should
say when you
probably
were
learn.
16?
17.
What was I?
Did I say 16? I did
Yeah.
say 16, 17. I've never drove illegally. It would have been 17 then. Thanks for clearing that up.
Oh
Jerry,
dear.
what about you? What's your longest phone call or Skype call you've ever been in?
Longest Skype call probably about 15, 16 hours.
What about like phone calls with Deb late at night, staying up all night?
Uh, Basically, when I was phoning Deb, it'd be a maximum of 2 hours. But obviously, over in the UK at the time, you'd pay quite expensively for a phone call because I didn't have a mobile phone, so
Oh,
I only
okay.
had a landline.
Landline.
Yes.
My
Going
my longest call was something like 46 hours or something. It was a
push
interesting one.
now. Handstand
The
one.
longest chat I had in a chat room was 48 hours, but that wasn't voice. That was just typing away.
Yeah. Speaking
And
of
that
chats, I remember when we used to be in chats all the time, getting waken up by
MSN
dumb
chat.
Swedes.
AOL chats.
Oh, I tried to
AOL
log
dial.
on to MSN the other day just to see.
MSN is a thing. It's Skype now.
Yeah, it's
Skype brought.
moved completely to Skype. It's
Well,
bogus. I think we should
the
do one of
kids of
those.
midday will never understand having an MSN girlfriend.
I know.
Because I
Or
remember
like when
mine,
you're
I
in
only have
a.
actually had one, but I met her on a school trip, and then like was with her for so long, but and obviously didn't see her again after that.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't have internet for a month because Dad was changing the provider, and then she dumped me through my mate on MSN, and it was sad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or like being in a relationship in elementary school and putting like I heart
oh,
Michael
heart
as
at
your
the
little
top.
Skype PM, yeah.
Yeah,
Your little MSN
but
PM.
I can remember what used to be top banter. You'd love to make a group chat with all my friends, no matter if they knew each other or not.
Yeah.
Right, who the fuck made this? Question mark. And then
Every
watch
single
everyone fight and
time.
blame each other for who done it. And it was me 100% of the time out of my friends. It was only ever me, and I
Yeah.
don't think you ever got caught ever.
Or
It was,
like
it was
I wrote a bot one time. I made a bot program that just spammed the nudge. Like just like
oh, no nudge.
constantly. Bzzz.
You remember the little face what would knock on your screen?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
laugh.
the knock.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, those were that was like a newer version of MSN. Those were
I
the
was
bomb, man. That was like
watching a YouTube video from like I can't remember who it is. Is it in a Fine Bros or something? It's doing like teens react to, kids react to, and it was like teens react to Windows 95, and then like all the apps like that trying to use dial up, and it was quite a funny video.
yeah.
Found out like only 5, 6 years younger than me, but just had no clue. Maybe a bit younger than that, but
Um Okay, so something else that found speaking of topics Fallon wanted us to talk about. She
this
wanted us to go
podcast
through.
is dedicated to Fallon.
Yeah, thank you, Fallon, for being a
She
long-term
sponsors
listener.
it. We joked about Apple, but this is brought to you by Fallon.
She
But
wanted
we are
us to
no
go
way
through
associated.
funny Minecraft bands. So I'm gonna go to bands.theprocraft. And
I'll be honest, I never look at this website apart from when I'm setting it up if it crashes.
yeah. Let's look at bands. So something that because we're all, 20 years old or under, except Jerry, Melly, and Dilly. So half of us.
So half of us.
Yeah. So we all do hilarious band messages when we ban somebody.
Hilarious.
Um,
Hilarious. I'm gonna write up here say I do not believe they will be hilarious. I'm gonna just put that in. And I'm not associated with the ProCraft in any way.
Mellow Whirl was banned for testing 1, 2, 3
By who?
by you. Silent Craft O was banned for test by you.
I do unban them.
The ProMic banned. Love Stampy 05 was banned for 1 day and then updated wrong mute time. Oh,
I don't do stopping much. I'm not thinking about it.
Think about your actions. That was Mike
Who
Van
said that?
Cat.
So all my bans have been
Yeah.
tests, mistakes, or just to piss someone like Cat off who didn't deserve a ban.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one that I won't say that one just in case somebody's listening.
No, okay.
Advertising, caps, hacked client, caps, threatening spam, test, Hubbard
Threatening
XD,
spam.
Hubbard,
Threatening spam.
yeah.
Oh dear.
What a
Dilly,
shit server.
Dilly wrote caps with an exclamation point, like she was excited to mute somebody.
I thought it would have been funny if she had wrote it in caps.
She didn't. Not even the C was in caps. Spamming / help op when muted. Okay.
Well, as exciting as this is, my prediction of it not being funny is came
Right.
true. So
Well, I mean,
moving
there's
on.
a few that were funny. Like I banned 2 people for I am your dad, where refused to admit I'm
funny.
your dad.
I think this word funny gets thrown around a lot.
Fucking
And I
thing.
believe there should be some kind of policing on this
Alright.
word.
Let's go to a fucking twat XOXO. There's a man. Alright. My next topic after funny MC bans is banter. So now this is the part where we're just gonna banter. What do you want to talk about today, Michael?
Just, I should probably do some prep where you should let me know. But banter is just gonna be a topic.
Oh man,
on
I
its
tried to
own.
give you prep, and you're like, oh, I prefer coming into these things blind.
Right now,
Don't you
I'm
call me
lazy
out on the
and I can't
podcast.
fuck to do anything. I had a story to tell, and it was going to be. You can be assured it was going to be really good, but I forgot it. So.
All right, well let's go into Jerry. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
What would you like to
I
know?
want to know who you are. I want to know what you do. I want to know how big your penis is.
Oh right, well, my nickname is Pee Wee, so that gives you an idea.
All right, Jerry, who are you?
I'm
And what do you
called
do?
Micro Mike, so.
Micro.
At the moment, I'm currently out of work on benefits in the UK due to ill health issues.
Mhm.
I was in December 2014 in hospital, facing the possibility of having an amputation of my lower right leg, but they've saved that.
Ooh.
Before that, I've worked in pretty much with the public in either customer services or retail. So most of my jobs have been with the public, which I miss doing.
Which is weird because everybody I've ever met hates you.
I don't care.
I'm just kidding, Jerry.
I don't care, whatever. I've got a 15-year-old boy called Joseph. My partner's called Deborah. I've been with her now for 21 years.
Which is not that long considering you're 65.
Yeah, whatever.
74, I don't.
Oh, sorry. My bad, Jerry.
74,
Just a
yeah.
couple birthdays.
Yeah,
I'll send you a card.
About half the age you are, Nick. But twice the intelligence. Play a lot of Minecraft because it's helps me escape reality and my issues. I mean, obviously being stuck indoors all the time, 24/7.
Probably should have found a better server.
Yeah,
No,
you could have
this-
found somebody.
No server is perfect. All servers have a problem, but there's a lot of good issues, etc. That I like this server. I only play one server at a time until either I have enough of that server or that server closes down. I've been.
We are very honoured.
But
have you
I really enjoy it. I mean, you know, there are things wrong with it, but then if there wasn't, if there wasn't something wrong with it, how could you improve it?
The only thing that I think that's wrong with it
speaking
is our owner
is the
just
owner.
incompetent. Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe our head
We have one
admin is a
who
little
isn't
stupid.
here and one who is here but doesn't know what he's doing.
I personally speaking, wise on the server, I think it's got a good balance. The staff aren't
when it's
too
up.
well.
Yeah, when the servers work
Okay, Tony may be down at the moment.
for the past 3 days.
Right, yeah, but the thing is, people don't realise that today, being a server owner or being admin, right, it's not just to say a simple fact. There's a lot of background work that goes on. Okay, we all have our own real life issues to deal with, and you can't be there 24/7. And what cheeses me off is when you get someone, and I won't mention any users' names, etc., on there, where they haven't got the patience and keep moaning about it. If they think they can do a better job, then do their own
I know
server.
exactly who you're talking about.
I know I
I know
mentioned it
it's
earlier,
Yeah,
as well.
I'll tell you later,
etc.
Mike.
But at the
I'm sure
day, there are things wrong with the server. But if there wasn't something wrong with the server, you can't improve on it. I mean, I've not been on a server where I've been on good servers in some areas, but they're worse off in other areas. This server, good value for the ranks. They God rank, $80. That's good value. I mean, I've been on servers where I paid for less perks, and it's ended up costing me over $250.
You hear that, guys? Jerry is endorsing that the ProCraft Minecraft server has very cheap donation ranks. Please donate today.
It's true. At the end of the day, you get a good package of
Oh,
perks
Jerry, you've yet to get the package.
or whatever.
I
I think
feel like we've turned into like a monetized podcast after one
Yeah.
episode.
I'm gonna call
We
this
just
episode the
selling now.
sponsorship.
Yeah, but I spoke to someone who's joined the server who got fed up of playing Minecraft because the servers had been on didn't offer a wide choice. And
Right.
when I told this person that we had factions, towny, skyblock, vanilla, creative,
Sometimes.
etc. Yeah, but we're going to be problems. And don't forget, we've had issues with the server host as well. We've recently updated to 1.9. Rome wasn't built in a day. Right?
What I pride our server on the most, what I'm most proud of about our server, is I live in a small town, and what you really look for in small towns is really good community places. And the fact that you can come onto our server and everybody's gonna know who you are, and everybody's gonna say like have
And we
stories
have a
about you.
podcast.
Yeah, and we have a podcast. Crazy. Download us on iTunes today.
I would.
I genuinely mean this. I'm not just blowing smoke up your or Nick's arse. I
I
genuinely
wish you were.
I genuinely do think it's a very good server. Yes, of course it's frustrating when we have issues. And you can't fix things just at a click of a finger. I tend to play mainly towny. That's my thing. I don't like Skyblock because I'm scared of heights of all things. I know it sounds really dull saying it's a blinking game, and I don't like factions because I'm not into PvP.
We Jerry said something
I-
actually really inspiring to me a long time ago, and
As
Jerry's
always.
relationship is very inspiring to me in a whole, just because how they interact with each other is phenomenal. And we have a marriage plugin on our server, and Jerry is never going to get married on our Minecraft server, and his reason for it is very, very a beautiful reason. On a serious note, Jerry, do you want to tell us why you're never going to marry
He
anybody
can't
in our
spell the
server?
word marriage.
Because
He can't spell the word, so he can't use it.
no, the reason why I wouldn't marry Brennan Boycott is there's only one person I want to marry, and that obviously being in real life is my partner. It's like I couldn't call anybody else by the name Mum. I've got a stepmum and I've got a stepdad.
You can't even call the queen mum?
No,
No,
I'm
she
not.
isn't his
I'm not.
mum.
I'm not a royalist today.
Traitor! Get him out this call.
Treachery. Sponsorship and treachery. That's what this podcast is about.
That's
But
a good name title. That's
I
going to be the
could-
name of my book.
Sponsorship
could-
and treachery?
I
An
couldn't call
original
anybody else
text by Mike
my
Clark.
mum or my dad. Right?
Mhm.
So I couldn't marry anybody. My loyalties lay with my person in real life. It wouldn't just feel right. That's why. Simple as
Very,
that.
very well said. I think we've got to the point in the podcast where I do need to do a formal apology. I did promise people a pun game this week, but Nick banned me from doing it, so you have
Well,
him to blame for the lack
next
of
week,
puns this episode.
next week the podcast will be just me and you again, and I'll have a couple drinks, and then you can tell me some of your sick puns, your dank puns.
We were going to have a game where we have a little competition.
I'm not
It's a
very
game
good at
I often
puns.
play on the server. I don't know, and it will make me look a lot better.
Okay.
And I like
Next
to
week.
pick my ego.
Next week will be the
My ego is
pun featured
currently the
podcast.
size
Ah.
of Warwick Davis. I want it to be Chewbacca's size next week.
Okay.
Well, I mean, look, you're going about the pun game, etc. Obviously, most of my health issues have been about my legs. And it's surprising that amount of times I'm, well, stand on your best foot. Or,
Yeah, you don't really
know,
have a leg to stand on when it comes to puns,
exactly. That's
Go
it.
up the apple and pears.
do you? You're
Push-
really
put-
good at them, actually. You're really
put-
good at them.
Put the push your best,
I'm going to hell. I am going to hell.
Show yourself out, Michael.
put
Leave
your
this
best
guy
foot
go.
forward. You know, I've got to stand on my own 2 feet. Yeah, right, okay.
Speaking of
You just don't know
Skype,
when to have a break. Wheelchair breaks? No?
no,
Okay,
that was
goodbye.
not good.
No, I'm really all right. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
really alright. It's like,
I don't know, I do feel like we keep pushing you, to the edge.
alright, come on, guys. Next week is the puns.
No, why?
Being Canadian and all, the wheelie alright joke is like hard for me to get because you guys sound dumb already. It sounds like you're saying wheelie when
So
you're
what
saying
you're
really.
what you're saying, Nick? Next week you'll be back on next week.
Eh?
Bacon.
That's right,
back on?
eh?
Yeah, I got it. Hey,
That's right, eh? Eh?
French toast and
It's still up to you.
syrup.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Yeah, happy
I haven't
Easter.
actually said that yet.
Happy Easter to all of you people who celebrate Easter. We understand Easter is a Catholic Christian holiday, and it's not about eating eggs, even though that's all it's ever been about to Mike.
I am atheist, but I
So-
love chocolate, so Easter.
So I want to
here
say
for me.
happy whatever the fuck you celebrate this weekend. For me, it's eating turkey and ham. For you, it may be the death and resurrection of Jesus. Enjoy.
I'd like to point out the message that we have always carried here on both the server and our podcast. Chickens are for Easter, not for food. No, chickens are for life, not for food.
Wait, what was the? Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it? Chicks are for life, not for food.
Yeah. Yeah, chick is a commitment, not a meal.
Chicken, you will get married to unless you're Jerry, who will only marry Deb. So,
Yeah, Jerry will not marry a chicken.
66 views. I'm gonna watch this 67 times next week, just so we beat it. We now have Jerry to
We've
watch
also
it with
got
us, so
6
we'll get
likes.
to 68.
We got 6 likes too, so that's pretty awesome that people are being vocal about how they enjoy our podcast. If you do enjoy our podcast, you can follow us on Twitter and favorite our tweets, or like us on Tumblr. Follow us on Tumblr and reblog and whatever. Give us notes
You
or
can
whatever.
also send an envelope of cash directly to me, and that money will be used productively towards the podcast.
It's gonna go to
and
Mike's
other
mankini
things.
collection, so he can send you
Well-
pictures of him in the mankini.
Mankini. Have we had a mankini
Jerry, have
discussion
you ever
yet?
worn a speedo or a mankini?
Nope.
No.
I had a mankini, which
I know. I've seen the
I
picture.
loved a bit. And there's multiple pictures on Facebook. It's a bit weird, actually. Obviously, my Minecraft skin is modelled after it as well. But last year, when I was moving out of my flat, I couldn't find it, which means whoever moved into my last year flat this year has unfortunately found a non-washed mankini of mine, which it's really an emotional story. I had it for 2 years and it's gone. And remember, guys, mankinis are for life, not just for 2 years.
Did you ever get rid of the can of pineapple?
Oh, let's not talk about a can of pineapple. Talking of that, I think I mentioned before on the podcast the tea.
That was pre-podcast.
Obviously, last podcast I was drinking a cup of tea. We recorded that exactly a week ago, and Jerry asked what I was drinking for tonight, whether it's going to be alcohol or tea. I was like, I'm out of sugar, so I didn't make anything. And then I looked down, and my mug from last week is still there with a bit of tea in the bottom, and it's got 4 specks of mold growing in it, and it is fucking disgusting.
If you guys would
So-
like to know what's going on with Michael's tea next week, you can. We're gonna do a
Shall
live
I- shall
growth
we have it?
projection.
Should we have
Yeah.
a science project?
Yeah, can you take
Shall I
pic-
keep it in?
Can you take
Well-
pictures every week too?
Well,
You-
Mike is
we'll put
a
him on the
fun
website.
guy.
Mushrooms.
Thank you. Is mold
Yeah.
fungi?
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well,
Are you
it's,
sure, mate? I don't think it is. It was a
it's
nice
not.
try.
I said no.
Them jokes will never get mold. They're starting to grow on me now.
oh god.
All right, Jerry. Do you have any final topics you'd like to discuss?
Shall I get some closing words from someone on the server if we have
Yeah,
anyone
you,
on the
you
server?
pull
Yeah.
those up, and then we're gonna maybe Jerry wants to talk about something before. He was
Yeah,
good
well,
at pulling
Jerry
up
can talk
topics.
while I'm pulling it up. Jerry, you have a little discussion. I'll just sit here. in the
Okay,
background.
okay.
So Jerry, how do you feel about taking a permanent position on our podcast? Mike's in. I mean, Mike's out. You're in. How about it?
I wouldn't say no to appearing occasionally, obviously not every week.
This is
I
it.
would if I had the chance.
You know?
Get out now before you sign up early on.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind. I like to communicate with people. Whether it's a good communication or not, it's a different kettle of fish. But
Jerry, we've talked today for 6 hours.
I know. But what about the other night?
I wasn't in that call very long, but we stayed up late.
Yeah, I started at 3 o'clock and the call
It's
ended
4
at-
a.m. my time when we hung
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, 8 a.m. my time, 8, 9 and my time
Yeah, it would have been nice.
that day. I mean, the thing is, right, the thing about the server, it's a two-way street. We're here to help our players.
It's a shame I go up it in the wrong way.
No. I mean, you know, at the day, if you are a stick and stuck in the same position all the time, it would be boring. You've got to have the flexibility. The server, okay, is a bit wacky, but I wouldn't call it boring. You know.
It's never
I'd
been
call
boring.
Nick
Yeah, like-
boring. The server not boring.
Oh,
We
Nick
agree?
boring. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
pretty boring.
I would use his usual phrase, but I'm not going to swear.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Wanker.
Jerry says
Bella.
something that I say all the time is what was it? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shut
Shut
the
the
fuck
fuck
up.
Well, you were asking me what
Um,
do I say often, and that's what you say often, especially to me.
Yeah,
I'm
only to
going to ask a question on the server already. What are the chances of someone asking when Townie will be back up?
Hey, did you get
Well,
any text
I
message from
reckon that's
Mellow
quite
World,
high.
Michael?
What, tonight? Or
Just in general.
my phone's currently dead. I got one saying she was going to punch me in the face at one point. Good Townie was down. Zanny's got us. If it's about Townie, I am going to cry.
Who has a
Red-
question?
Red velvet needs cream cheese icing.
Yes.
Zanny.
100%.
That was her statement. It wasn't a question. I'm
Red
done.
velvet always comes with cream cheese icing. What's your favorite type of cake, Jerry?
Unfortunately, a cake I'm not allowed to have.
Yeah,
but
I know.
chocolate.
Stop asking him these questions, Nick. You've been a bit
Yeah,
diabetic.
he's not allowed to have cake.
No. I mean, I do eat cake. Don't get me wrong. I do eat cake, but I mean, I used to be a chocoholic, and when I went down to my doctors and he told me I was diabetic, it was almost like I sucked the oxygen out of his office, because when he said, you know, I've got to cut down on chocolate, all I went was like that. And then I realised
You're
that
like a
obviously I might-
Dementor from Harry Potter, just sucking the life out of
Then
the
I
doctor.
realised I might have to
Yeah.
inject myself, and I've got a fear of needles, so I done it all over again. But I have a bit of what I'm
Now he
not
just
supposed
makes
to
Deb
have.
inject him in the butt and he doesn't look.
It's
Well,
not
the
very
thing
sweet,
about-
that, is it?
What you can do, one of the things is when my blood sugar level does drop, it's a benefit, because then I can have something sweet that I'm not supposed to have
Right.
to bring my sugar level back up. But I've got to be careful at the end of the day. Unfortunately, so. But, have we got any
So
questions?
you would have
then?
thought that question. We thought that question would have been a piece of cake to answer, but it wasn't.
It's a sweet. But it's fine.
Sponsorship,
It used-
treachery, and puns.
Well, I'm trying to get Cadbury's to sponsor us.
Oh, Cadbury.
Yeah,
If
Cadbury
anyone is
sponsor.
interested in sponsoring the podcast, you can
Contact
email us at
theprocraft or theprobanter@gmail.com or Nicholas@theprobanter.com.
or Michael at theprocraft.com if you want me to see all the money and Nick to not find out about it.
I mean, I'm gonna give Mike all the money anyway, but Mike's not gonna check his email, and I am.
Um, okay, that is very
Seriously,
true.
seriously, if there's anybody who would love to sponsor the program, please do. Well,
Not the ProCraft. The server's fine. Sponsor the ProBanter.
How about
Our
the
media productions.
podcast is sponsored by the Procraft? I don't know how that would work.
Well, okay, well, if we want to do this, then you have to start funneling me revenue from donations every month. That's fine by me.
Yeah, well, on second thoughts, we'll keep them as separate entities.
and for those who are interested, we will soon be producing the Procraft T-shirt with handy, pretty designs on, at only $19 per T-shirt. Please take.
Today,
And as the owner of the server, this is news to me. But if I can make money this way, so be it.
I'd like to announce the fact that the ProBanter and the ProCraft are no longer a joint compilation.
Associated.
We're a totally different entity now. Well, I don't play Minecraft. I don't know what that is. Oh, we're also
Microsoft-
announcing that Jerry is now the new owner of the ProCraft. Me and Michael are both resigning.
He's wearing my head in the hub right now. Anyway,
Yeah,
like I've been in this server for 2 minutes, and Townie has been asked so many times.
yeah.
I did also put a note up saying it would be up by midday today.
You
Tomorrow
did?
morning, it will
did
be
it?
an Easter present to you
Yeah.
all.
At least the president. Well, yeah, but the thing is, right? You've got to remember, you did say the 26th midday, and depending what country you're referring to, you didn't
It's
say
probably not that. It's probably gone that everywhere in the world now, isn't it?
Something that I didn't do this week that will be coming. Look out for in the next week. There will be a forum post on theprocraft.com asking if you guys have any topics that we'd like to talk about on the podcast. I forgot to do it this week, but you'll definitely get sooner notice.
Will that be? Where did you say that will be? Sorry, I wasn't.
www.theprocraft.com.
And then
on
in
a-
the forums,
yeah,
we
it'll
will
be on the
create a new
forums.
thread for the podcast.
Thank you. I'm currently asked Kat over Snapchat if she has any closing words.
I didn't like her closing words
Oh.
last time.
Would you like to hear them this time?
I suppose so. Is it playing a pun game?
Kat's the best.
We will not be ending on them words. So
She
do you
also
have
said,
anything to
"I
blub
like
on about,
Kool-Aid."
Jerry?
Jerry, here's a test that I'm gonna play with you at the end of the podcast. Tell us where you can find all of the information that you need to know.
at the server website.
No, we're no longer associated.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck the server.
www.theprobanter.com/Mike is great will take you to my PayPal account.
For all of the podcast listeners, we do have an actually secret webpage set up, and it's www.theprobanter.com/MikeIsGreat.html.
I
You
don't
need the
think it is.
.html.
I think it was Mike is the best. We got it wrong. I re-listened to the podcast and we
The
set it up wrong.
webpage is MikeIsGreat.html. You need the .html, or else it's not going to take you there.
Are we
Go
sure
there and you'll
that's what
find a
it is?
very nice image of Michael.
I'm pretty sure you set it up to MikeIsGreat.html, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you said it's great.
Mike is great.
Oh, what did I just say? It's
Yeah.
the best. I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm drunk.
So,
I'm drunk off
as
podcast
usual,
stuff.
you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/TheProBanter. You can find our YouTube channel, TheProBanter on YouTube. We also have a Tumblr, theprobanter.tumblr.com. You can find all the podcast information on www.theprobanter.com. Any information that you need to find about the server, that's going to be on www.theprocraft.com. You can chat with our users on the Discord,
This is such an information. We're going to have so
You can
many.
also find our podcast on SoundCloud,
If you want to listen to music, go to
soundcloud.com/theprobanter.
music.theprocraft.com. If you want to play on server, go to mc.theprocraft.com. If you want to find nude pictures of all our staff members, go to nudes.theprocraft.com.
True. What else? SoundCloud. You can also find us on iTunes.
Is our iTunes now linked to our website? Because it wasn't earlier in the week when I looked.
I'll do that as soon as we end the podcast.
And YouTube as well, I believe. You might have done
The
that.
YouTube,
actually.
if you go to theprobanter.com/links, there's to our YouTube.
We have so many. Whack.
Also, if you'd like to sponsor us, please do contact me at TheProBanter@gmail.com.
And please do share with your friends, and let's make it 100 views this week instead of
let's double it.
66.
Let's
go
double
for
66.
100. Nah, let's go for 100.
Okay, we'll go for 100. And also, we have 6 likes, so let's go for 7 likes. Thank you,
And
love you,
Fallon's
miss you.
done 1 comment, so we want 2 comments from Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon, please comment twice.
Oh, thank you, guys. By the way.